Hello to all traders and welcome back to the market review brought to you by Orbex. So cable was bouncing quite significantly yesterday, roughly about 50 pips to the upside and downside after not only a good inflation reading year on year, dropping just to over 2%, down from just over 3%, which is quite remarkable if you think that every time we have a inflation cut, it's usually 1/10%, maybe 1/5%, but this time it's nearly a whole percentage point. So that's really what's driven cable at the moment. And on top of that, Prime Minister Sunak finally announced on the 4th of July that there will be a UK election. So is that another reason why we saw such a big move in the market as well? We'll get into the market shortly, but with that being said, is now the time, is that the reason that Rishi Sunak has called the election? Because he's seeing that inflation has dropped, could work in his favour, but obviously the past 12 or 13 years or so of Conservative government being in charge in Downing Street could lead voters to another option in Labour and one of the other parties. But obviously we'll bring you all the latest of the speculation as it comes. Let's get right into the markets now. I've just got this on the 1 hour chart because we don't look at 1 hour charts that often. And as you can see here, you know, when the CPI data was released, we saw such a sharp move of 50 pips to the upside, and then straight away a sharp retracement. But then the news of the UK general election came into focus, and then we saw another bounce, not too much in the way of big moves in the market there. If you look at where it started from, just above the 127 handle, and then we moved up to 127.45, 127.50 with the spikes, so about 50 pips on there. But since then, as you can see, very choppy markets, very undecided on what will happen with inflation and also with this general election. But now steadily we are seeing another push for cable to the upside. So this is where we are looking next at the moment. If we just bring out the 4 hour chart, we'll just go a little bit abstract on this cable chart in the 4 hours. So as you can see here, it has bounced higher and higher. This is because of dollar weakness across the board. You know, we look at euro dollar, dollar yen, a few of the other majors, but cable has really progressed over the dollar in the last few weeks. And if we actually go back to the beginning of May, almost a month ago, we saw quite a steady bounce. Sorry, this is the end of April. Quite a steady bounce. So we've gone from the lower 123 region to the lower 127 region. So over 400 pips being added in just a month. So quite remarkable there. So where next for cable? Obviously, the UK general election is only 40 something days away. So it is going to be very tooth and nail, as they say. So we could see some really big volatility on cable especially. So we're just going to stick with cable today. Not we're going to look at many of other majors, because the euro dollar, for example, is just continuing its downtrend due to the vast recovery against the euro. You know, the euro's not, the inflation isn't really dropping as fast as the UK is doing at the moment, and the Bank of England has actually signalled possibly a summer rate cut. So one of the first one of the first central banks to do this, and before the Fed and before the European Central Bank. So we did get a little bit more of a downturn on the euro against the dollar, but focus is on cable today because, as I said, it has had such a big impact in the markets, and a lot of traders are asking me where next. Well, as you can see on the 4 hour chart, if we just scale it back, we're heading for this V-shaped recovery at the moment, and we're just in this kind of slight consolidation just up to the upside, and we're just waiting now to see the next big swing highs. The first one will be 128, and the next one will be roughly about 129. So going 100 pips at a time isn't really out of the question. But with the big swings in the market that we've seen, we'll have to wait and see where is the next step. So thank you very much for joining me. As usual, this video will be posted on our YouTube and Telegram channel. So feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Until next time, have a great trend day ahead. Bye for now.